Hello and welcome to the Sunday Preview Rundown. After a skip last week because there was an single Black Library book, we're back in force. Battleforce. That was not an intentional pun. I'm happy I said it.
I was going to say, were you preparing for that one?
No, this week we've got the... First off, I was not expecting any Battleforces this early. And I was not expecting both sets of Battleforces this early.
Yep.
Last year, didn't they stagger them?
They did. I think there were 6 and 5 instead, and they made them 2 different weeks. But this time, nope, all together.
Yeah, so let's talk about them. Now, we've seen these already.
We have. We did a video on them.
We did a video, or you did a video. I wasn't there for that one, although apparently I said something that upset people in the comments. We'll talk about that, I guess. We do also have one bonus mini provisionally prepared. This has no rules. This is just a commemorative series miniature featuring your least favorite kinds of models. I'm on the record as not particularly loving ratlings either.
Sure.
However, I do love good humor.
Sure.
In the same way that I often get the Red Gobbo miniatures, even though I actually don't much care for orcs.
Right.
So I will probably get this eventually. I just love the food.
I don't like a single thing about this entire miniature.
Sausage?
Sausage?
Think of the conversion potential of that sausage, though.
I don't know if I can leave that in.
No, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, like, imagine a guard regiment where every single soldier has a rifle in one hand and is holding out a sausage like this.
Just like molded green stuff that had left hand all have sausages?
Yes.
Nice.
And then you paint them as Germans and you go, no, they're not. I'm not painting my Krieg as Nazis. I'm painting them as...
No, not those Germans.
I'm painting them as stereotypical Bavarians.
I'm sure that would go over well.
If you painted them lederhosen colors, I think it would.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, let's get on to the Battleforces. So you already talked about these with Cody.
Yes.
And about how your opinions on them. So we won't go into too much depth here, just a kind of a brief reminder of the thoughts from that video.
Yeah.
We'll link it in the description below if you like to see the more full things. Some of the points have changed. Just a little bit.
Only a little bit. Only the Dark Angels and... one from Tau and one, but it doesn't actually change anything for Imperial Knights.
Okay.
Necrons and Sororitas did not change at all.
First up, here's the Sororitas, the Penitent Crusade hosts. Currently, to my knowledge, Arcoflagellants are where it's at.
Arcoflagellants are pretty sick. I personally really like the, not the Redemptioners, the double chainsword ones.
Oh, the Eviscerators?
Eviscerators.
I mean, the Eviscerator is one of my favorite weapons in 40k.
Yes.
It's my weapon of choice in Darktide, for example.
Of course. The only thing that is iffy with this is it comes with 2 rhinos.
Yeah.
Like, those could have been other vehicles.
It's not that the 2 rhinos are bad.
No, you should probably have rhinos.
But if you're a Sisters player, you often have rhinos.
Yeah. Rhinos are like, they spawn in your basement when you're not paying attention.
Yeah. You can't not have rhinos. Although, you know what? I don't have a single rhino to my name.
Wow.
No, I mean,
you just started.
I have the one special edition one I got, the Warhammer World version that we found at Gen Con that one year.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Yes, I have one rhino.
Yep.
That's because for Marines, it's a different story now that we've moved on to other things.
Yeah, they have cooler transports.
Anyway, this kind of does set the trend, though, of a lot of these boxes, I think as you guys mentioned in the video, seem that they're geared for folks who are just getting into these factions.
Yes,
and
generally
not
that's what
reinforcements for the factions.
Yeah.
What you think about it from a sales level is good because you want people to start new armies.
Yeah.
And then buy more stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
This very much leads into New Year, New Army.
They did mention at the very top, the very first blurb was like, buy 1, buy 2, heck, buy them all.
Did you see the disclaimer at the bottom?
I did.
There's a disclaimer at the bottom that says legally we cannot advise you to do this.
So I think it actually says that for
the swimming pool part.
Swimming in the plastic sprues, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, this one comes out to $347.50.
Which is pretty good. Again, we don't know the prices on these.
We don't know the prices of these because they have ranged last year from $200 to $300.
I think the highest was $240.
$240.
So which is not terrible.
But a lot's changed since last year, so I would kind of expect these prices to go up.
I agree.
Either way, yeah, 680 points too. At current time of writing, that'll change.
Yeah, of course.
Let's go to the let's just do this again box.
Basically, but not really.
Hey, remember Chainbreaker Lance? Remember how amazingly that box sold?
Yeah.
Remember how amazingly hard it was to get that box? Well, what if we just did that again? It's the Valor Strike Lance.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Knight Errant, which, by the way, could also be built as Canis Rex.
No, if I'm... scroll down a little bit. So this is the one that the the big knight can only be built as an Errant or a Paladin. Cannot be Canis Rex.
Oh, it
It
doesn't.
does not come with the bits for Canis Rex.
They didn't include it in the box?
Nope.
Because nowadays they do.
I know.
Ah, so you're saying.
And last year, the Chainbreaker lands did.
Okay.
Or not last year, 2 years ago.
Because currently, Canis Rex is one of the things that's like carrying the faction.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, never wrong. So this is slightly different.
It is. Also, as opposed to Chainbreaker Lance, the weapons on the armigers are mix and match. It comes with
Yes.
all the options for all the armigers where it didn't before.
So
They reversed what they did.
So slightly better in some ways, slightly worse in another, depending
Yes.
on what you wanted out of this.
If you want an Errant or a Paladin, it's great.
Yeah.
You just can't do Canis Rex, or I think there's one other one you
Quester?
can't do. Quester, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
This thing comes out to $368 total, or 1,005 points.
Yeah, which is nuts. Over half your army in one box.
Yeah. So this is half a knight's army,
Yep.
and then all you would need to probably do is buy like 2 more knights or a couple more little knights.
Yeah, I think most right now are doing 4 armigers, 3 big knights.
Yeah. So just buy 2 more big knights,
Yeah.
and then boom, you have an army.
Exactly.
Boom, done.
Despite the price on the box of all these, Knights is one of the cheapest armies to actually get
Oh
into.
yeah, absolutely, because you need so few models.
Yeah.
And this is probably the best way to start a knight's army if you don't already have one.
Agreed.
A bar none. Unless you can get a copy of Chainbreaker Lance for the same price it was last year, which you can't.
Yeah. There's actually thinking about it, for Horse Heresy, there's a 2-knight set. Mm-hmm. So you can buy that in this and basically have a full army.
Nice. You'll have to link that set.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still available, but they did
Oh,
put it
right.
up fairly recently.
Oh, I remember which set you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, great box. This is the one that will be gone from pre-orders by the time you get on the website.
Yep.
So good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. Now let's go on to a faction you like.
Yay. The Necron's Battle Force for Hypercrypt Legion. This is very similar to some of the other kits that they've put out where there's a giant named character in the box
That you only ever need one of.
that you only ever need one of. So if you already have him, this box goes way down in value. It is $339.50 in value. So without, 120 of that, it's not great.
It starts to drop below what it'll likely cost.
Right.
That being said,
It's 715 points. So if you don't have him, this is a really good deal.
and even if you want everything else in here, and if you can move him,
That's
if
true.
you could sell him, you could probably get your money's back, and it's still a really good deal. Honestly,
You can flip them and call it good. The other weird part about this is it's similar to the what was the Orc box? They had the big Stampa that probably new players would not need, and then also boys, which old players don't need because they have 200 of them. It's very similar here, where it's like you got the big named character and then warriors.
Yep. But if you don't play this faction yet and you want to,
Again, this is great for a new player.
absolutely fantastic.
It over half of your points, I think.
Yes.
Almost half
Not
of
quite,
your
not quite.
points
715.
are in just one model, but he is a real good one.
Yes. That is the Satan Shard of the Void Dragon.
Void Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, he is. I'm not gonna say he's carrying the faction, but dang, he's good.
He is very good.
He's not quite as essential to the faction as Canis Rex is to Knights right now.
Sure.
But he's real good and real hard to deal with.
Yep.
All right, next up we've got Knights 2, Greater Good Boogaloo.
Yeah, they got tired of putting Pathfinders in a box.
Thank God.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, this is the best Tau box I've seen in years.
It is certainly something. It is $335 for all 4 of these kits.
So the lowest.
And 535 points, which is also the lowest.
Yes, that is. Well, yeah, I'll let you finish.
Well, the real issue is that Tau wasn't great, and then the solution to that was apparently just keep producing the points over and over and over again.
So Tau are in the points drop death spiral.
Yep.
I forget who coined that. Maybe no one else has. Points drop death spiral is when an army is so bad, like fundamentally, that you can't fix it without a total rules rewrite, which Games Workshop does not do until the books come out. Now, unfortunately, the Tau book already came out, and they didn't get that rewrite.
Still there.
So what's going to happen is that all their stuff is kind of bad because their base rules aren't terribly good. So they're just going to keep dropping points until you have enough models on the board
for it to make up for it.
Right. Adeptus Mechanicus had a little bit of this problem.
Yeah. But they're also like a horde army to start with.
Yes.
Tau is not.
No, Tau is we don't have too many guys. That's why we have this advanced technology.
Yeah.
Which also means that Tau, which, to be fair, part of the reason that was such a huge issue with Adeptus Mechanicus is because it was already one of the most expensive armies to buy and play.
That is true.
Tau weren't in that boat, but now you need, like, so many models to play Tau.
Yep.
Like, these broadsides are 90 points.
They're 90 points and 6250 each.
Right.
And you can have units of 3.
A guardsman unit is
Yeah.
is worth more than points than that. I guess not as much points as that. Sorry,
Yeah.
guardsmen are like what 85 for the good ones.
Yeah, I think so.
Ghost Kill's 190
Kazukin.
points. The the Ghost Kill and the Riptide are the same points, and they shouldn't be.
No, they're 160 and 190.
Oh, 160, 190. Sorry, but one of them's $20 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tau is not in a good place right now, which is why this box is so low points value.
Yes.
But models are forever.
Yes.
Rules are temporary. These are all newer models that all hold up wonderfully.
Yep.
It's a nice change from all the recent Tau boxes in the past, years.
Oh,
They've
definitely.
all been infantry focused.
Yep. Tons of infantry, some of the like hover vehicles, usually maybe one walker.
Yeah, maybe you get like a devilfish.
Yeah.
Or a long strike or a Tau gun, whatever the tank is called.
Yeah.
Hammerhead.
But this time, all walkers, baby.
I'm not gonna lie, like I almost want this box
Oh, yeah?
because I like Tau bots.
That's true. It's like every time anyone says that like Tau is great or Tau is bad, it's always on the robots.
Right. I did not grow up watching Gundam, but I like these robots.
Yeah, they're cool. And this one I would probably expect to be the most you just purchase 2 and you're basically done.
Yeah.
Not quite because of the points, but like
And that would not be a great army.
it would not.
They need some infantry.
Also,
hold
to
the
be fair, it would only be like
no, you
just,
need to
just over
purchase
1,000 points.
You need to purchase 3 of these boxes.
No, you purchase 2 and then, pepper in some actual things. You can't just buy 2 of these and call it good.
Getting the ghost keel, Stingy.
Exactly.
So, not a bad box.
I like the battle suits. That's it. That's the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, retaliation cadre.
They know.
They know, and it's a fun box.
Yeah.
But the Tau are not in a fun place right now,
Yeah.
which is such a shame.
They're super big suits, max out at like strength 9.
Yeah.
They didn't go up with the toughness increase. Like
No.
the strength of the weapons didn't go up with the toughness increase, and it shows.
Yes. Their big guns don't hit as hard as they should.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. All right. Dark Angels Battle Force, Inner Circle Task Force. Apparently, I need to issue a public apology for this one. I've been out of the loop on Dark Angels for a bit. I'm not going to lie. So when I said that this was bad, apparently I was misinformed. Apparently, this is now how you play Dark Angels, or at least good.
They're at least good.
Specifically with the Knights. I don't know about the Inner Circle.
The inner circle, usually they'll take like either 1 max unit or 2 men units.
Okay.
So not bad.
How's the Lion now?
Well, he went down in points again recently, so probably still not great.
So the Lion points death spiral.
Yeah, he was at 300. He's at 285 now.
So that aside, this is a good box if you want to play Dark Angels. Because honestly, if you're playing Dark Angels, yes, they're one of the things carrying the faction, and specifically Azrael with his...
Yeah.
But he keeps going up in points, so...
Yeah.
Because he's the only reason to play him. If you're playing Dark Angels, you probably want the Primarch. You want the model.
Yeah, you want it.
And
He's cool.
This is one of my favorite models in 40k.
Yeah, he's
the
fantastic.
Lion. He is a fantastic model. Everything else is very thematic because it's all the Deathwing Knights. That Chaplain goes great with those Knights because he gives them wound strengths.
This is what I want them to do more often with Space Marines boxes.
Yes.
Don't put just generic stuff in it.
And then a transfer and an upgrade sprue.
Like, give me their cool, bespoke, like, made-for-them stuff. Makes me want to play that faction.
Correct.
Don't just go like, here's some short intercessors and a rhino.
2 rhinos. 2 rhinos. So this box is worth $374 and 1,040 points. So it's actually ahead of the Imperial Knights. This is our highest point box in 40k. You are playing, first off, if you're playing this, you're playing Inner Circle Task Force, like the actual army in the book. And your strategy is to drop these Deathwing Knights on an objective with the Chaplain and then refuse to die.
Yep, refuse to die and kill anything that comes close.
Correct. While the Lion teleports in from, the Sherwood Forest and just starts cutting people.
Exactly.
Until he gets absolutely murdered because he has no defensives anymore.
Yeah, I did one-shot him with a Defiler in melee once. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, you almost one-shot him when you fought me.
Yeah,
like
true.
I dodged one melee last cannon shot, and that was the only thing. A 3-up invulnerable does not save you anymore.
It's crazy that a 3-up invulnerable doesn't save you.
Nope. Anyway, still a good box though.
Yeah, it's a great box, great value, great points. The only real downside, we talked about this before, the only real downside is if you already have the Lion, or he's still a really sweet model.
And I will say that this is a $374 box, and the Lion is what, $70, $80?
70.
$70. So if the Lion's the only thing you don't want in here, this is not actually a bad box.
No, it's not that bad. It's still a good savings.
Yes. And the Lion comes with 2 helmets, so just build another one with another helmet option. Sorry, 3 helmets. So just build another one.
Yeah, and then
have 2 Lions.
Just put him on the table and call him, I don't know, the Tiger.
Mufasa and Scar.
Put stripes on them.
Rar.
Rare XD.
All right, so that's it for 40K.
Mm-hmm.
Let's head over to the Mortal Realms. Big Pig 2024.
Big Pig 2024. I want to smack that.
Yeah, here's our Pig Baneblade with Pig Sponsons.
Yep. So this one, Cody and I brought up, and you were not there. I don't remember if I told you. So there's one character in this box, and the way that AOS list building works, that character cannot take any of these infantry in his regiment.
Yep, this was probably put together before that was finalized.
Yep.
So this is not a good box to start this faction with because it's not legal, technically.
It's legal. You would just need between 2 and 4 auxiliary choices.
Which gives your opponent a command point, so in BD. Okay, besides that, though, so this is clearly like you get this, and this, to be fair, most of these boxes aren't intended you only buy the box.
No.
To play just that box. This is not a starter set.
Yeah.
This is like buffing up your forces, and in that regard, none of these are uniques.
That's true.
Big Pig's fine.
Mm-hmm. Big Pig's great. I've heard that you generally take one, or you take a ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this being one is great. You need something to be able to take the troops in their regiment, and you're off to a good start. Honestly, and the fact that all of these models are fresh from the end of last edition
means it looks great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how much is it worth?
It is $325. Unfortunately, all of the AOS ones are a little bit less in cost for some reason.
Favoritism.
I know. But they also are generally more points at 900 points. This is the lowest one at 900 points.
That's because usually you need fewer models in Age of Sigmar than 40K.
And generally you do.
Generally.
Yeah.
Horde armies are less hordy. Elite armies are more elite.
Next up is the Charnel Grand Jury. Why are you making me talk about this one? I hate these guys. Anyway.
Coco Charnel?
Coco Charnel Jury. Flush Eater Quartz. It is $334 or 910 points, just a little bit more than the last one. And the real issue is, other than Usharan, this is like your whole faction.
Yep.
This is like everything that you can take.
Well, to be fair, that's kind of just... There's a few factions in Age of Sigmar that are like that.
That's true.
Where they're newer factions and they have a much smaller model pool.
I mean, the orcs are pretty similar to that too.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at least unlike Fire Slayers, these all look distinct.
True.
So the bats are very good right now.
The bats are very good. You take like 2 max units, I think, generally.
They're your hammers.
Yep.
And they're good hammers because they survive.
They're fast.
Morbeg Knights, sorry, is the full name.
Yeah.
Crypt Guard are, you have to bring them. Crypt Flayers are also pretty decent. I don't know about Gormain.
You don't know about Gormain either. But I know the fact that you get 2 units of the Morbeg Knights, and they're like the thing right now, fantastic. And I actually don't know if they have it in Flesh Eater Quartz, but I know that the winged ones in Soulblight have a Deep Strike mechanic, which is kind of nice, and good for like capping points and all that stuff.
Flesh Eater Quartz are currently a slightly overtuned army.
Yeah.
So yeah, they might get nerfed in the next. Remember, there's going to be more balanced data slates or whatever.
More than ever before.
Every quarterly in Age of Sigmar. So we'll see how that shakes out. But for now, this is a really good box to get, and it is a nice, sampler of the faction.
Yeah, agreed.
Cities of Sigmar, the Founding Foray. This is basically just the launch box upgraded, but without the steel helms.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad box. Fusiliers are how you play the faction.
Basically.
The Cavaliers are also your mobile hammer. They're very good. The cannon's awful. All artillery in Age of Sigmar right now, with like the exception of the catapult in OBR, is bad.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. It's just trash. The Command Corps is one of my favorite sets of models in the game, honestly. Plus you got the Marshal and the Ogre. Fusilier.
Yeah, the Fusil Major is apparently one of the really, really good decisions when you do a shooting list, which is what this looks like it's going for.
And what you have to do with cities right now.
Yeah.
Although you can kind of play aggressive heavy with the Cavaliers.
Fair.
So this box is $344 and 920 points. Really, you just get this, and then you swap out the cannon for that priestess, the wheel, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're got a great start. Throw in some steel hounds for objective control.
Perfect. I love it.
If you're playing humans. Apparently the hot way to play right now is hammers and dwarves, but I suspect that'll get nerfed in the ground because GW wants to sell the humans, not...
Yeah, they want to sell their cool new models.
Which, to be fair, and kind of like the Iron Jaws and the FEC, these are all cool new models.
Yep, agreed.
These all look great. There's no...
Well, the FEC, there was 2 boxes in there that are not new.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot the Crypt Horrors.
The horrors are from an old age.
Yes. Ugh, who wants to talk about Maggotkin?
I guess I'll do it.
Okay.
I don't like Magakin and Nerd. No, I'm just kidding. Up next is the Shutter Blight Cyst.
Ew.
I have to make sure I don't vomit during each of those words. It is a really good deal at $343 being... Oh, no, sorry, $344. The city's one is $1 more.
Haha!
So it is the next best deal, but it is the most points-wise at $990. And interestingly, the flying guys each have an option to be built as a character. So if you want to, you can build 2 characters and a 2-man unit and make it 1,180 points instead. If you want to get max points out of it. Now, that's, maybe not ideal, but you could do it.
I believe the Puscoils are still your best mobile hammer in Nurgle, to my knowledge. I could be wrong on this, because I don't play Nurgle. But they're mobile and hard-hitting and wounds heavy.
Yep, they're Nurgle. They're hard to kill, and they have one of their detachments is to teleport them directly at your opponent turn 1.
Yep.
And they're hard to kill because they're Nurgle, so you got to cut through them. And also, apparently, the Rotmire Creed is generally, I don't want to say spammed, but is very good right now.
Yep, they're low on points, and you need objective holders and what are they called? People who run around the board and steal things, and they're great at that. Something they continued with from last edition. They're just cheap.
And despite being a Nurgle model, the Harbinger of Decay is one of the coolest models in that.
Yep, we have gushed about this model several times, and we'll continue to.
Don't say gush when we're talking about Nurgle.
That was intentional.
Oh, God.
This is an amazing model, one of the best models ever. I don't like Nurgle. I like that model.
Yep.
And it's in here, so, So, that's it for this week. This will go up on pre-order next weekend on Saturday, and then there'll be, 2-week pre-order period, and then they'll actually come out.
Unless they change something, I read this through and it didn't look like it. This should be coming out Black Friday weekend.
Right.
Which I think they also did last year.
Yes. So RIP store owners, I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
RIP retail workers. But I guess, I'm going to say this right now. Do not expect the Knights Battle Force to be in stock when you go there on Black Friday if you didn't order this ahead of time.
Yep.
Honestly, for a lot of these are pretty good. So none of these are real stinkers this year, I think.
Yeah, none of them are like, oh my god, why would they put that? Like, all of them have useful things, iconic to the faction. The only weird one is probably the Tau, just because it's only 4 models.
I was going to say that if any of them are the boxes that stick around for a whole year that your local store puts on sale, I could see it being this one, but because it is still 4 giant robots,
and Tau players like their giant robots,
I could see it not being this.
Yeah, that's
so. Either way, yeah.
We'll take bets over under.
I don't bet money on Warhammer. I learned a long time ago, bad idea. Or it takes my more money. So that's it from us this week. We'll keep you posted with any more developments over the week as these come out. And until next Sunday.
Bye.